So, lads, I made a video probably about 45 minutes ago. Like, talking about how Kyrie Irving's injury is a disaster for the Dallas Mavericks. Talking about Kyrie Irving's knee injury. And I literally said it, and I'm like, even if it is a hyperextension, he's still going to be out for most of the year, considering the fact he's 33. And a lot of people are like, oh, it looked like Giannis's injury. And I was like, but Giannis was superhuman. Kyrie's 33 or 32, whatever age he is, coming towards the end of his career, and it was worst case scenario. It was worst case scenario for Kyrie Irving because, as I said in that video, if he went and tore his ACL, it becomes really difficult to come back from. And Kyrie Irving, according to a tweet from Shams, has officially tore his ACL. Yeah, Kyrie's ACL is gone. Like, it's not a good sign at all for the Dallas Mavericks. It's really not good. And obviously watching him shoot those free throws was heartbreaking. And he knew it had happened. He knew exactly what had happened. It's not like, in fairness to Clay wanted to go back in the game. Kobe, I don't know what, like Kobe, obviously, you've tore your Achilles. Like, as someone who's torn my Achilles, like when Kobe goes and asks Harrison Barnes if he hit him, and Harrison Barnes said no, like, that was the moment when I knew I tore my Achilles. But obviously Kyrie Irving stepped me to the line, and you can see how little weight he's putting on that left leg. Like, he knows. He just wants to go and hit those two free throws, and even if he missed the free throw, someone would have fouled. And you can see him on the line. You can see him on the line, like, he knows something that's happened. He knows something bad has happened. And, like, Kyrie Irving, as far as I'm aware, he hasn't had an ACL injury before. But, like, tearing your ACL is something that nobody should have to deal with. And now he's coming out, like, he's out for all of next season as well. So, like, when Kyrie Irving comes back to play basketball, it'll be the end of 2026. It'll be the start of the 2026-2027 season. Because at his age, to get back from an ACL tear, he's probably going to be cleared like next April, and you don't want to have someone coming right in for the playoffs. And again, you don't want to rush an ACL injury. I think we're all in agreement with that. Like, you don't want to rush an ACL injury. And yeah, this one's horrible. And like, a lot of people are like, the Mavs are cursed, but I'm like, it was such a boneheaded decision to get rid of Luka Doncic, because it forced Kyrie Irving to need to play all those minutes. You didn't have anyone else who can create. Actually, you did. You had someone else who could kind of create at times in Quentin Grimes, who could get theirs. You traded him as well. So, for Dallas, like... And Dallas, by the way, you know their pick, as far as I'm aware? They don't have so many of their picks. And, like... Look at this. Even on the NBA site, with the short-handed Mavs losing Kyrie Irving to a left knee sprain, his career is never going to be the same. The man tore his ACL. Even the NBA were like, left knee sprain. There was no way that was going to be a left knee sprain. It was either a hyperextension, and that was best case scenario. And at his age, that's still probably out until at least past the first round, which they're never going to get without Kyrie Irving. But it looked like it was going to be an ACL injury, and it turns out that it's that. So, look, if you're the Phoenix Suns, you're happy, I guess, because you're probably going to make the play-in. Or if you're the Mavs, you might make the play-in. Not without Kyrie Irving, or Anthony Davis, or Quentin Grimes. Like, they're just screwed. They're just screwed. And even without Kyrie Irving, with Luka Doncic, they wouldn't really have anything. But with Luka Doncic playing, maybe this ACL injury doesn't happen. Like, Kyrie Irving's been ran into the ground playing 40 minutes a game since the Luka trade. And it's unfortunate that it was an ACL injury. The way that Luka Doncic, or the way that Kyrie Irving's playing minutes-wise, and obviously he got injured early in this game, but the way he's been playing minutes-wise, something was going to go. He was going to get injured in some way. And it just happened to be one of I'm not going to say the worst injuries. Obviously, a neck injury or a back injury are without question the worst injuries you can have. And even for leg injuries, like an Achilles tear is worse than an ACL tear. But still, like, it's not good at all what has happened with Kyrie Irving. And I just wish he had, strained his calf or something, or strained his hamstring and was out for 3 weeks, so that he wouldn't have to be forced to have put all the load in his body. Because with the amount of minutes he was playing, there was no way he was going to be right in the playoffs. We saw Luka break down. Kyrie Irving was having to do more than what Luka did last year. So, and the thing is, a lot of people are like, oh, it was an impact injury, he banged knees. No, he didn't. It was the other knee. It was his other knee. So he was literally just, obviously he banged knees, so he was off balance. It was literally him just landing on his leg off balance. So, yeah. For Mavs fans, I feel you. It's not been a good period for you at all. It really hasn't. It's not been good in any way this season. You've lost Kyrie. You've lost Luka Doncic already. You're going to probably lose, I don't know, you keep AD because he's under contract, but you're probably going to lose Kyrie Irving in free agency, because the Dallas Mavericks didn't want to pay Luka a max. Why would they pay Kyrie Irving a max when he's going to be injured for one entire season of the max? So I can see the Dallas Mavericks letting go of Kyrie, and I don't think a team's going to offer Kyrie a max because he's not going to play next season. So maybe a team like the Lakers could sign Kyrie Irving under the to say, you know what, you come back, you're not going to have a heavy load. Come back in a year from now, and hopefully you're healthy for next year's playoffs when we go for a title in LeBron's last year. And I think it's more and more likely that happens in free agency now, that Kyrie's hurt, because no one's going to sign him to a long-term max. Would it be a smarter thing for him to do to go and sign the 1 year mid-level exception like a Boogie Cousins? Because I trust Kyrie a lot more than I trust Boogie Cousins. Come back like Boogie did a year later, get ready for the playoffs, and then go for it. The thing with Boogie is that obviously he had not made the major money, and it was going to be his first like big contract that he was to sign. And with Kyrie's already made his money. He signed multiple max contracts, and he's a lot older than Boogie was at the time, so maybe he would consider doing something like that. But you just never know. I think Kyrie to the Lakers is a much bigger possibility now than it was prior to the injury. But still, for the Dallas Mavericks, you are absolutely screwed. I'll see you guys.